Incredible. We're going to go to that live news conference right now at the command post. Let's just listen in there.
Supervisor Michael Antonovich, who is here with us. Also, several members of the Assembly member Steve Knight, and local elected officials as well. This fire continues to challenge firefighters. There were very specific objectives that were provided this morning, and that is to protect life and property, to limit injuries, and the firefighters have been very successful at that. We've not had any additional significant damage to homes or other structures this afternoon. The fire has grown since this morning by nearly 5,000 acres. And as we experience the wind right here, that is the real challenge for us right now, is the wind continuing to move the fire. There are many people here that are going to speak, and I'd like to certainly welcome our governor for being here with us. Always here, always supportive of the firefighters and law enforcement and everyone in public safety working together to protect life and property. We've also worked very hard today to protect the infrastructure, basically the power grid, the high voltage power lines, and that will be covered in a moment. But it gives me great pleasure at this time to introduce to you Secretary Matt Bettenhausen of Cal EMA. Secretary.
Chief, thank you. Chief, and all of our local partners and state partners and volunteers. We appreciate all the great work that they're doing. As the governor frequently says, we have the best law enforcement, fire, volunteers in the nation. We have got a world-class mutual aid system, and I think that you've seen them at work here today in terms of the resources that we've been throwing at this. Last night, as we looked at the number of structures that were threatened and the way the fire was growing and the expectations that the winds would pick up today, the governor instructed me to start working with the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Homeland Security to request a federal management assistance grant, which will help us with the financial costs and the resources in order to combat that fire. And I'm pleased that the governor's request last night, actually early this morning, about 12:12 this morning, we got the call that the FMAG was granted. So that's going to also help us assist as we continue to battle this fire. So I appreciate all of the great work and support that the governor has had in terms of making us able to build the mutual aid system that we're able to deploy here today, the resources from the DC-10s to the 747 that's just arrived. And so it's my honor and privilege to introduce my boss, the great partner and the birthday boy today, working, Governor Schwarzenegger. Happy birthday, and thank you for all your help.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to be here, not under those circumstances, but I mean just happy to come out here and to be assisting and making sure that the state does everything that it can in order to help with those fires. You know, we were very fortunate to not have fires for quite some time because the air temperature was cool, and we didn't have the experiencing of dry weather and all those winds and so on. But all of a sudden the fire season kicked in, and so here we are. But we are ready, and we have luckily distributed resources all over the state of California, so we are ready at any given time. And we also made sure that all the fire engines are manned with not just 3 men, but with 4 or 5 men, and I think that's very important. And I think that there is great coordination going on between the local firefighters, the state, and also federal firefighters throughout the state of California. So I wanted to say thank you very much to Secretary Bettenhausen from Cal EMA, who has been a great leader and has always been right there where the action is, and also with the coordination. Then LA County Chief Friedman. He's also been here from early on, and we want to thank him for his great work. And then Cal Fire Chief McCain, and then LA County Deputy Chief Bryant, who is the Ground Fire Incident Commander. And we want to thank also Supervisor Antonovich for being here today, and also for Chief Tyler for being here with us. Sheriff Parker couldn't make it, but so he sent him, but he's also been really helpful with coordinating law enforcement. I first want to just also say thank you to the firefighters, because I always make it clear that we have the best and the most experienced firefighters in the world, and the most courageous firefighters that risk their lives to go in there and to fight those fires. So let's give them all a big hand for the great work that they are doing. I also want to thank law enforcement because, as you know, when you have fires like that, evacuation is extremely important, and law enforcement is in charge of that, not only with the evacuations, but also to make sure that those homes are safe after they're evacuated. So law enforcement has worked very closely with the fire officials, so we want to thank them also for the great work they've done. And I want to thank also everyone from the Secretary Bettenhauser to LA County Fire Chief Friedman and Fire Chief McCain and everyone for giving me a briefing here. And I just want to bring you up to date on this briefing right now, which is that the ground fire, there's 13,000 acres that have burned so far. 20% has been contained. 4 structures have been destroyed, but there's a lot of structures that are being threatened. 2,000 structures are being threatened right now. 300 homes have been evacuated. 1,713 personnel are deployed on this fire. Then we have 3 shelters that are open. There's 16 hand crews that are working on this fire. 250 engines are out there working on the fire. 5 helicopters, 3 water tenders, and then 1 DC-10. And of course, just as of the last hour, the 747 has also arrived. So as you can see, we are deploying everything that we got, because the most important thing is, and you will hear this always from the fire officials, that the first 24 hours are the most important time to contain the fire. And so they've done an extraordinary job of having all those resources available. Now there's other fires that are going on statewide, and I just want to tell you there's approximately 30,000 acres that have burned so far statewide. Then 34 structures have been destroyed. 2,230 structures are threatened statewide. Then there's 4,193 fire officials that are firefighters that are working on those fires. 107 hand crews, 300 engines statewide, and 21 helicopters. And so I think that the thing is, I would say, under control. But I wanted to just come here personally to make sure that everyone knows that the state, even though we have a budget crunch and that we have a $20 billion budget deficit, but everyone should be assured that we have the money always available for fighting those fires or for any disaster that may happen here in California. I think that the public safety is our number 1 priority, and so the faster we jump into action, the better it is. And of course, there's a lot of other things that are threatened. The power lines that were threatened in this fire today, but luckily they worked fast enough to save those. There's windmills that are further up north that are threatened. So the fire officials do everything that they can to fight those fires. So with that, I want to hand it back over to Secretary Bettenhausen to introduce the next speaker. Thank you very much.
County Supervisor Antonovich.
We once again want to thank the governor for having the involvement in helping us to assist those who are being impacted by this fire. As we had last year with the station fire, he was there and gave that assistance, and that assistance is still being carried out today, just as the assistance to those who have been victimized by this fire will be there to be assisted tomorrow. The county facilities from Department of Public Works, Animal Control, Department of Mental Health, Regional Planning are all there working now to assist and being able to help those who have been harmed by this fire to repair and get their life back to normal. But we want to thank the governor. We want to thank the men and women in our fire department. Mutual aid has been very, very important, that mutual aid pact with all the other local municipalities coming here to help and to assist. And the air support that our fire department has up there preventing any spreading of this fire beyond what has happened already. The winds we don't have any control over, but we have a great aerospace unit, great men and women on the ground and in the air, and great support from the governor to the fire department and our public safety, highway patrol, and the sheriffs who are here to assist those who have been victimized by this fire. So once again, thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Supervisor. We are also going to have Steve Hofbrauer from Palmdale, who is representing the mayor here today. And then, as the governor introduced, we have Chief Tyler from the LA County Sheriff's Office, but one of your very own who lives
All right,
here,
we're going to pull out of the press conference right now, but keep in mind we are going to stream this live on abc7.com if you want to continue to watch it and see who else is speaking. But we just heard from Governor Schwarzenegger, who said that this fire has now grown to 13,000 acres, and as we know, 4 structures have been destroyed, but he has the utmost confidence in the fire department, the best fire department in the world.
And right now, let's get to Eyewitness News reporter Leo Starworth. He is on the ground in Palmdale and covering the fire from that vantage point. Leo?